Alright guys, SNUBBED here again today, and we're going to be talking about a few things that have come out over the last few days or so regarding the next Call of Duty Modern Warfare, of which the reveal for the multiplayer reveal is coming up in just a few days on August the 1st at 10 PM Pacific time, 1 PM Eastern time, 6 PM British summer time, and if you guys are anywhere else in the world, you guys can figure it out from those times. So yeah, that's coming out over the next few days. We've also got some things that came out just a few minutes ago from when I'm recording this video, and then in the latter half of the video I really wanted to talk about the OpTic gaming situation and the boot camps that are going on over the next, pre-champs. We know that OpTic have had not too much success with their boot camps so far this year, and OpTic will not be hosting a boot camp this time around, but they will be attending one. So even though in the title, you know, supposedly they maybe got snubbed from one boot camp, and according to what some people are saying, but they are, as far as we can tell, still going to be attending a boot camp before champs. So, well, whether that will work for them this time, we will get into that in the coming minutes and maybe in future content as well, because there's probably not going to be much happening over the next couple of weeks or so, so I'll do my best to keep the content going. So yeah, like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it, and let's jump right into it. So this came out a couple of days ago now. Supposedly, this is a very, low tier, well not really low tier, but it's a meaningless feature, but the fact that it's in the game, I don't know what you guys think about this, because it could either mean that, they're concentrating on things that don't matter, or it's like they think the game's so good that they can afford to put elements like this in. So you're going to have a watch like this, and your watch in-game is going to tell you your actual time in real time. So, well, it's going to vary, of course, where you are in the world. There were some funny comments that came out about this, like, you know, for example, this one, where's this host from? I don't know, bro, check his watch in the kill cams, for example. People talking about how, you know, you could, have DLC, start flexing a rollie, you know, if you want to drop a couple grand on an in-game watch, I don't know. But I thought this was kind of a funny thing to share. So moving onwards here, we have the following. Kill streaks are back in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention. Came out very, shortly before I pressed record. And yeah, no score streaks it seems this year. So honestly, in Black Ops 4, I wouldn't mind if it was kill streaks because you get score very, very easily because of the assists. But on the whole, I feel like score streaks are an upgrade on kill streaks. But we're going back several years. These are the ones we have access to right now that we know of. Juggernaut, call in a care package that contains the Juggernaut assault gear, which, you know, we've seen in the past. And then we have this one, Infantry Assault Vehicle, which is a bloody tank. Manned light infantry assault vehicle with a 50 cal machine gun on top. So, you know, is your head going to be poking out of this thing? Like, I would think they, you know, like the AGI, you remember that? You could call it, is it like a mantis or something in this game? You just drop it down, it comes in, it walks around the map, maybe you can manually control it. This looks like a tank, and it says it's manned. So, like, this is a kill streak? That's pretty mental. And we also have this white phosphorus. Supposedly, this reminds me of like the napalm strike from back in Black Ops 1. And, you know, if this goes down, apparently it's like smoke canisters. And if you get caught in the smoke, you die. But if you're like kind of brush it, then you get injured, but it doesn't kill you. So, yeah, thought I'd bring that to your guys' attention. What do you guys think about kill streaks? Because, well, I thought score streaks personally, since, I mean, Black Ops 2, right? That they've been, in my opinion, an upgrade. This year, I think, as I say, it's a little bit different because we've got we've got score streaks very easy to get because you get 100 score for just an assist, and maybe kill streaks, you know, it's a bit of a throwback and it probably won't really affect competitive too much, but you know, still an interesting change that they've decided to revert back what's really been a staple of COD for the last several years, apart from COD Ghost, which had score streaks in a different way. They had like a point system rather than score streaks, but still very interesting. So I thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention as well. These are the current odds for the Call of Duty World Championship on Bet365. Just thought I'd brush through them here because there's some decent odds right now. They may have changed as of recording this video. But 100 Thieves and OpTic Gaming both at 6-1. So effectively, if you were to put $10 on something, you would get $60 back, and then you'd get your rebate as well. So you get your initial bet. So you'd get $70 from $10. But I'm not sure you can go on this website if you're from the States anyway. So I think there may be a States equivalent, which hopefully shouldn't be too hard to find. But, you know, this is just to give you guys some sort of idea who the favourites are. And, you know, you get down to here, you see UIU at 101-1, the boys, and then from there it just gets insane. So I thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention, but, you know, if you're not interested, no problem. We will move onwards here. This was another thing. So Offset, we talked about him a few days ago. He is like an American rapper, and he was seen in a video with like the FaZe CEO and some of the elite FaZe guys. And in interestingly, this guy Rez tweets to him, ever thought about investing in an esports team? Might have already done that, says Offset. And, very interesting to see if this will ever happen. And, FaZe have been in an interesting spot the last couple of months, the Tfue situation. Of course, I guess while we're talking about Tfue, I should very briefly mention the Fortnite World Cup finishing yesterday. $3 million for this kid, Booga, I think his name is, or Booga, however you want to pronounce it. 16-year-old kid. That is crazy money. Like, I think JCap tweeted that kid, 16 years old, won $3 million for winning the Fortnite World Cup. And he won in that single moment more money than JCap, Clayster, Crimsix and Karma combined in their entire careers, which is just mind-blowing. And maybe if we had crowdfunding in Call of Duty, we could get to that similar levels. Maybe that's a topic of discussion in the coming days here. So, moving onwards here. So, we have this from Call of Duty Minnesota, which is the spot owned by Gary V and Co. The one that supposedly Hector might be trying to get involved with. That's Hector Rodriguez, OpTic Gaming, former OpTic Gaming CEO, I guess. And, it seems they're going to have a training camp. CoD is coming to the north. Future and home of Wise Esports, the guys that own it. So, pretty cool little facility going on here. And, yeah, I thought I'd bring that to your guys' attention. Now, moving onwards. TJ, I'm not going to play this clip because it has copyrighted audio in. I think I'll be able to get away with a couple of clips that I'll show you guys. But this one, TJ saying OpTic Gaming have gone back to their old roles. So I'm pretty sure that means TJ will be back on the War Machine. Karma, I'm pretty sure, has been using the Grapple. There's also been this talk of Karma potentially being using the Sorg, which I thought I'd really save for the next couple of days if we want to make a video on that, considering I'm not really sure exactly if that's 100% legit, whether Karma will be using a Sorg. So, we'll just have to see. But he has been using it on stream. He's been using the Grapple, of course. And, back to these traditional roles. And TJ says at the end of this video, yeah, we're back to our old roles along the lines of what it was traditionally with Karma, of course, on the Maddox, along with Dashy, TJ and Scump on the Sorgs. But, in the last day or so, we've got a clip from Karma saying that he's going to be using a Sorg, or at least heavily implying it. So, not exactly sure what the status quo is right now for OpTic Gaming. Maybe you guys know better than I do, and maybe we can figure it out over the coming days. So, I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. So, let's get on to this bootcamp situation. So this is a clip that was tweeted out by Intel Call of Duty. Slack says 100 Thieves are bootcamping with E United, Reciprocity and Gen.G. So I'll roll the clip for you guys.
Let's do a bootcamp, bro.
There's no one has a facility. It's shocked.
Wait, well, how?
OpTic Game bootcamping.
What about 100T?
Forts, they're already bootcamping with 3 other teams.
Cool.
EU, Rec, and Gen.G.
That's crazy, bro.
So as you could tell, he also said that OpTic Gaming aren't going to be boot camping, which is interesting. So, this supposedly is going to be the lineup for one of the boot camps. Supposedly it's going to be Gen.G's boot camp at the Gen.G training facilities, or, whatever they've got right now. We talked about it a couple of days ago. They've set up a big session going on, similar to, I think, what 100 Thieves are trying to do. Even the 100 Thieves is more expansive. It's not just esports stuff. And also what we just looked at with the Minnesota guys. So supposedly 100 Thieves, Gen.G, Reciprocity and United. Now this is a pretty deadly boot camp in terms of the placings. Of course, 100 Thieves were top 6, but it's 100 Thieves. They're the best team in the game. A few weeks ago we would have said they won back-to-back events. Of course, we'd expect them to be very, very good. And then Reciprocity top 4, Gen.G made the finals, and United made the finals as well. So and won the event. So pretty impressive stuff. And the fact that OpTic Gaming aren't going, to me, was interesting. Now this is clearly a stacked lineup in terms of who's going to be at the event and who's going to be at the bootcamp. Now, TJ tweeted this on the 27th, sorry. Now, I don't know whether this is bait. A lot of people are saying it's bait. He, this tweet has since been deleted. He says, we got blacklisted, unbelievable. And a lot of people at the time were thinking that was referring to that there was a bootcamp situation lined up, and then they got, not necessarily rejected, but they got turned down for the bootcamp or something along those lines. And I wouldn't put that out of the realms of possibility, given the teams that are here, given that all of these teams here, apart from including Gen.G as well, but supposedly they're going to be the hosts of it. But the other 3 all placed higher than OpTic Gaming, and of course OpTic didn't win a map at Miami, so I can understand if Gen.G are thinking, well, we can invite 3 teams to this bootcamp, which is probably a reasonable amount to do. Maybe that's all the space they have. Maybe they just decided that, maybe Reciprocity said yes last minute or something like that, or maybe 100 Thieves, and Gen.G were like, you know what, maybe it's not worth having OpTic at this one. Maybe they're not the caliber of team right now that they think they can learn from. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. These teams have really been the rivals to Gen.G, and Gen.G did beat OpTic and Miami, even though it was a close 3-2 fashion. Not Miami, sorry, Anaheim is what I was talking about. That's what I intended to say. Obviously these two are pretty closely matched teams in terms of how they've matched up throughout this year so far. But, maybe that's the decision Gen.G have made to say that, okay, we think we can learn more from these three teams than we could from getting OpTic Gaming there. But, that's completely up in the air, and that's pretty speculative. So then we have the following then. So, okay, this is the tweet that we were just on, but he also said that OpTic Gaming aren't boot camping in that little clip. But supposedly they will be, and we'll get into that in a second. This is a clip from Enable talking about how supposedly FaZe were meant to be at Gen.G's boot camp, but 100 Thieves replaced them. So the game audio is kind of loud in this one, but I'll let you guys enjoy it.
Gen.G invited us to the United Rec and their freeland that they're hosting. I think FaZe was going, but I think there was like a chance that that one of the teams there could match up with FaZe or something. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. But all I know is that they invited us, and they kicked FaZe out, but they didn't kick FaZe out like for us. Does that make sense?
So he doesn't really give too many reasons, but supposedly he says that Gen.G were considering having FaZe there, and then for whatever reason they decided to get 100 Thieves instead, which is interesting, of course, because that means maybe OpTic were, 5th or 6th choice or something like that, and FaZe were even above them. But according to FaZe's coach RJ, this is tweeted out on the Intel Call of Duty account again, so RJ the Sloth Bear, he says that FaZe is going to be boot camping with OpTic Gaming and likely LG and Evil Geniuses. So, it's very possible from my expectations, or from my looking at this, that OpTic may have been snubbed from that big boot camp with Gen.G and those guys, and maybe FaZe Clan as well for whatever reason. I guess Gen.G only had the space for a couple of teams, and maybe they decided that these teams weren't worth it at the current time. Now LG and EG are definitely solid squads, but on paper this isn't quite as scary a boot camp as the one we just looked at. And we've known that in the past when OpTic Gaming have had boot camps so far this year, the teams that they play against tend to do really damn well at tournaments. We saw it at Miami, we've seen it earlier in the year, and boot camping hasn't quite worked out for OpTic Gaming, at least when they've hosted it. So maybe this time will be better for them. They boot camped with FaZe before before Miami, and I'll be interested to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.